A year ago, I replaced my gaming PC with a Steam Deck. I thought, who needs a gaming PC when you can just use a Steam Deck? So I decided to go all in on Valve's little handheld. And now, after a year of using this thing as my only PC, I've got some thoughts. Spoiler alert, it wasn't exactly smooth sailing. So, was it a good idea or the dumbest decision I've ever made? Well, let's just say the Steam Deck taught me a few lessons I wasn't expecting. But first, let's talk about why I thought this was a good idea in the first place. For the last couple of years, I've tested different handhelds from the ROG Ally to the Legion Go, and none of them impressed me the way the Steam Deck did. My biggest issue with these handhelds came down to the price and of course, Windows. Windows made everything difficult for me. The constant updates, random driver issues, and endless troubleshooting made me feel like I was spending much time fixing problems than actually gaming on my handheld. I wanted a streamlined experience with no quirks, something that just worked out of the box, and that's where the Steam Deck came in. This handheld has been my daily driver and surprisingly it didn't suck, but let's be clear, it's not perfect either. So why did I go with the Steam Deck? Well, it's fairly priced compared to the gaming PC. It has good battery life, solid performance, a nice display, expandable storage, and is compact enough to throw into my backpack and carry around with ease. The Steam Deck is an easy pick-up and play handheld with access to a huge library of games, all thanks to SteamOS, which is stable and performs well, especially considering the price. A gaming PC, on the other hand, is far more expensive and usually tied to Windows, which comes with its own headaches, performance drops, constant software updates, and poor battery management. Although you can play 90% of games on PC, SteamOS does a great job of streamlining the gaming experience on the deck. With its verified game list, you immediately know which titles run smoothly. Below that, you've got playable games that require a bit of tweaking, but the Steam community has your back with endless fixes and optimizations. Then, there are unsupported games, but honestly, those are rare. The Steam Deck has completely changed the way I play games today. Its compatibility with Linux gaming has played a huge role in pushing the industry forward, so much so that companies like Microsoft are now making handhelds like the Xbox Ally X, and Sony is also rumored to be developing one too. And honestly, we have the Steam Deck to thank for popularizing this entire market. If you're shopping for a gaming handheld today, the Steam Deck is the first recommendation you'll hear. Sure, there are alternatives like the Ally X or the Legion Go S with SteamOS support, but none of them come close with the overall experience of the Steam Deck, and that's exactly why I replaced my PC with this device. I went for the OLED version, which has better specs for gaming. When it comes to the design, the Steam Deck already marks the first major hardware revision since the original model, launched back in 2023. It features a 7.4 HDR OLED display with higher peak brightness of up to 1000 nits versus 400 nits on the LCD model, delivering bright colors, deeper blacks, and better motion clarity for much more immersion gaming experience. Games like Resident Evil and Cyberpunk 2077 look absolutely stunning on this screen. As someone who's used to gaming on the high refresh OLED monitors, I'm glad the Steam Deck finally offers something close to that experience. The OLED model also supports a 9Hz refresh rate compared to 60Hz on the LCD version. In 2025, 9Hz is the bare minimum when competing devices like the Legion Go offer 120Hz panels, but for what the Steam Deck delivers, I honestly can't complain too much. The device is designed for comfort and portability, maintaining the same console-like ergonomics that define the Steam Deck lineup. The OLED version is also 30 grams lighter thanks to the more efficient panel and internal redesign, making it even easier to carry and more comfortable to hold during long gaming sessions. Valve has improved the thermals with a larger fan, allowing it to run cooler and quieter than the LCD version. The OLED panel itself generates less heat, which further improves thermal management. Another upgrade comes in the form of Wi-Fi 6 support, offering faster and more stable wireless connections compared to Wi-Fi 5 on the older model. The 50-watt-hour battery boosts battery life by 30 to 50%, which makes a noticeable difference during long gaming sessions. And I have to say, the Steam Deck controllers are among the best I've used on any handheld. I've tried the ones on the Ally X and the Nintendo Switch, but as someone who's used to gaming on the mouse and keyboard, the Deck's controllers feel exceptionally responsive and comfortable. When it comes to the performance, the Steam Deck delivers great results for its size, but let's be clear, you're not getting the raw power of a fully equipped gaming PC. Some demanding titles require a bit of tweaking, and you will see occasional frame drops, but that's expected given the form factor. Still, for what the Steam Deck is, it's an incredible little device for gaming on the go. Developers have optimized their games to run well on it, making it one of the most reliable gaming handhelds on the market. In my testing, most games ran well. Cyberpunk 2077 hit around 30 to 45 FPS natively at reduced settings, which is perfectly playable. When I streamed it via Steam Remote Play from my PC, I could crack it up to 90Hz with DLSS enabled, giving me a smooth and visually stunning experience. No Man's Sky averages around 45 to 60 FPS at minimal settings, which is great for such an open-world game. The Steam Deck absolutely excels with indie games and even handles most modern AAA titles, respectively at medium to low settings. Valve's optimizations make a huge difference here. Battery life has always been a pain point for handheld gaming, but the OLED model improves things significantly. Thanks to the larger 50-watt battery, a more power-efficient OLED panel and an upgraded thermal design, Valve claims you can expect around 3 to 12 hours of gameplay depending on what you are running. Personally, since I usually play around for 2 hours at a time, I have no complaints. For heavier gamers, I would recommend keeping a power bank. Now let's talk about SteamOS. I love this environment. The software is smooth, intuitive, and genuinely built for gaming. There is no bloatware like on Windows, no constant forced updates, and accessing your system library is seamless. The catalog itself is huge, and you can even connect third-party stores like Epic and GOG without too much hassle. The only downside, not every game is optimized for Linux, but the majority are playable. SteamOS also makes it easier to know which titles are verified, which ones need tinkering, and which ones aren't compatible at all, which saves a lot of frustrations. Now, one of the best things about owning a Steam Deck is the community support. If you're new and need help troubleshooting or checking the game compatibility, Valve has built a huge network of players willing to share tips and solutions. Personally, I've used a ton of mods, tweaks, and performance optimizations to improve my experience. Unlike other handhelds and PCs, where I often stuck waiting for company driver updates, Valve supports the deck the way Apple supports its devices. Updates are consistent and tailored specifically for the hardware. So you might be asking, is the Steam Deck affordable? Well, I would say yes. This version of the Steam Deck already cost me around $600, which is honestly insane considering what you get. For that price, you're getting a device capable of replacing a gaming setup that would cost you 3 times as much if you built it as a PC. That said, the Steam Deck isn't perfect. Despite all the praise, there are a few areas I would love to see improved. Battery life is better now, but it could be improved further, maybe with an 80-watt battery in the future. A 120Hz display would also make a big difference, especially since so many competitors are already offering it. And yes, I do miss my PC sometimes, especially when it comes to multitasking. On a desktop, I can keep a game running, browse the web, chat on Discord, and stream content without any hiccups. While the Steam Deck can handle light multitasking, it's limited by SteamOS and simply isn't designed to replace a fully desktop workflow. But honestly, that's not really a flaw. The Steam Deck is built for gaming, and for that purpose, it delivers exceptionally well. So after a year of using the Steam Deck already, did it fully replace my 2000 gaming PC? For me, yes and no. I still use my PC for editing and certain demanding games, but the Steam Deck has become my go-to for almost everything. For the price, portability, and overall gaming experience, it's hard to beat. If you're like me and value convenience, don't mind tweaking a few settings, and want a device that gives you access to modern games on the go, the Steam Deck already can absolutely replace your gaming PC for everyday use. Honestly, it changed the way I think about gaming entirely. For what it costs, the value here is unmatched, especially when you compare to gaming PC. That's 3 times the price. So what do you guys think? Would you replace a gaming PC with a Steam Deck? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next video.